Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of TheAllenChienPodcast. I'm your host, Allen Chen, and I'm joined today with this very special guest, Jerry. How you doing, man? It's been a while.
Hey, man, I'm doing awesome. First off, I just want to thank you for, allowing us or me to be on your very first episode of your podcast.
Oh, and in case you guys don't know who he is, he was featured on a very epic short feature film called The End of ImpossibleFilms.
So epic.
Right? Anyway, this sketch was directed and written and edited by myself and Nathaniel, who at the time ran, a small YouTube channel called TheAllenChienPodcast. The 12-minute sketch kind of tells the story of, how things work behind the scenes when the Impossible Croons weren't creating content, and how one Christmas wish went terribly wrong.
Right, I forgot it was also a Christmas special.
Yeah, it wasn't just a Christmas special, though. If I remember correctly at the time, Impossible Films kind of had, or we kind of also just hit around 100 subscribers, and Nathaniel and I wanted to create something for our fans.
Oh, I almost forgot. Make sure to tell Nathaniel this for me, but congratulations on your 5 years anniversary.
Jeez, really? Has it been like 5 years already since we launched Impossible Films? That's crazy. Like, now that I think, now that you mention it, it feels like a long time, but it also doesn't, if you kind of catch my drift.
Totally. I'll never forget the day you guys called me in and asked if I was interested in playing a role in this complicated sketch.
I've been wanting to ask you this, but what was it like to, kind of work with us during that time?
Honestly, it was chaotic.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like, we were given like less than a day to read our lines. In fact, I think there's like one scene where I'm holding the script that was supposed to be a prop, but it was actually the script, and I was just reading off that.
I mean, to be fair, you didn't have much lines either.
True, but
though.
honestly, I was impressed with how you and Nathaniel handled the shoot.
Thank you. Well, it was kind of hard actually. Like, we only had one camera at the time, and like that wasn't exactly the best quality, and we didn't really know much about like ISO back then, or any of the camera setting then, or like kind of like adding lights to our shots. So I don't know if you saw, like, if for anyone who watched the video, like, so majority of our video was just kind of our voices in this little dark room. It was in my kitchen actually, and it was really hard to kind of tell like what was really going on, but we tried to really emphasize it on the character, and that's kind of how we kind of developed the scene. And that now that we're kind of more experienced, I guess, and as crazy as it sounds, I kind of wish that Nathaniel and I can kind of find a day to, I don't know, maybe reshoot it and then, or make it better, because geez, like, my acting was actually terrible.
Yeah. So I also noticed that your videos aren't up. Like, both of your videos aren't up anymore. Like, did you guys set it to private, or like was there a reason why you guys chose to do so? Or
right. So I've been asked this question so many times from our fans, and
why the quotation marks?
I mean, fine, okay, we had like 200 subscribers, but like, let's be real here. Like, 90% of them were like our family members and our friends.
But
sorry?
Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that, I mean, they're still considered as fans though, right?
I mean, I guess you're right. Like, anyways, as I was saying, a lot of people has been asking if, Impossible Film is still kind of that thing. And after Nathaniel and I privated every video like on our channel, so for those who didn't know, like, we kind of decided to just private our video, not necessarily take them down, but we just wanted to private our video because we feel like people thought we got in a fight, and then like it's not that, like, it wasn't anything like that. Like, Daniel and I are still close friends, but we ultimately decided to private our video because it became kind of too cheesy and cringy for us to watch.
Wait, what? You guys took down your video because it's too cringy?
No, I mean, okay, fine. There's like more to it. It's not just because like the video is kind of cheesy and cringy, but like we kind of just felt like it was kind of weird and awkward for us to kind of like have that still on and release on our channel. Like, it wasn't just because like we felt the videos were cheesy, but as we kind of grew older and learned more about content creating and our editing style and videography kind of got slightly better, we both wanted to make better content for our channel and wanted to start fresh. Like, we wanted to revive our channel though, but we also wanted to make it like so it's legit and fresh.
Oh, okay, that's
like,
okay, I get it.
Yeah, which is why if you visit our channel now, it's no longer called Impossible Films, but we just call it Allen and Daniel or something, or the other way around. I'm not really sure. You gotta double check. But either way, we basically wanted to again rebrand ourselves, and it's also why our banner kind of also says a new season is coming.
Right. So the main purpose was kind of rebranding.
Well, essentially, yeah.
Ah, gotcha. So is there, like, do you guys have any other?
I mean,
plans or anything, or?
It was definitely in the talks. Yeah, and so at the time we decided to do this, we were both still in high school, and unfortunately our schedules just not, never really aligned with one another. So it was kind of hard to meet up and kind of plan.
Wait, but didn't you guys have like the same lunch period?
We did, but like realistically, 60-minute like it wasn't enough to make a video and to like kind of plan everything out. And like I said, we wanted to make like legit ones. We wanted to make like short films. We had tons of ideas, and we wanted to make like better ones so we can share to our friends. Or I mean, at least I wanted to, right?
Wait, an hour is still decently long?
Right, but you also have to consider that we needed time to eat our lunch as well, because it was during our lunch break. So I don't think it would make any sense if we use that 60 minutes just so we can get like a quick video done. I felt like if we both weren't fully committed into doing something, but like eventually we kind of both eventually we kind of just decided that it's ultimately best to kind of just both drop it and kind of forget about it too. Like I think we were both also working on our side project at the time. Like I was working on a channel with my church, and he was kind of doing the same thing with his church. So we both were kind of already doing our own thing on the side, and never really had time to meet up to, I guess, like create create our type of content or our type of thing.
Right. So what about right now? Like, are you guys still gonna plan on making videos or?
Well, yeah, for sure. I'm always down to create something, especially how that's also what I'm majoring in now in school, and I'm sure Nathaniel knows that as well. But like like our timing again is just always off sometime, and we're both unlucky. I guess we're unlucky people.
Yeah.
Nah, but like like I said, I'm always down, and Nathaniel and I we both talked about this before on whether or not we should or we want to continue our channel. But like the thing with the timing and everything that's going on in life kind of just wasn't there, and we eventually both got busy. Like I had to do stuff for my school, and then he has to do stuff for his school, and essentially now we're both kind of in secondary school now. So so I guess you can say we're on a hold right now. Like I can't really say much, nor do I know if we're ever going to make something again. But yeah, I'm always down to create something.
Right. So you guys are still friends, right? You guys are not getting in the fight.
So I guess you can say we're on a hold right now. Like
Right. Yeah,
oh yeah,
like,
no,
friends,
we're
right?
still friends. We're definitely still friends, and like we try to talk to one another from time to time. And realistically, if it wasn't for this pandemic lockdown situation, maybe I would have asked if he was down to revive our channel again or something that we can kind of create again.
Right. This COVID-19 is really screwing us over.
Yeah, for real though. But yeah, I asked to see if Nathaniel is down to, I don't know, maybe join me in a podcast next time. Yes, we do have tons of guests coming in to kind of help me with this podcast. To be fair, like this is just like a little trial episode 1, I guess, as to kind of what I want to do. I don't really know what I'm doing half the time, but again, this is just kind of what I want to do. And then if Nathaniel wants to join, I can kind of see and just see or what he wants to say, or kind of like, because this is kind of just like my understanding and kind of, of how I saw and why we kind of just stopped posting on Impossible Film, or kind of like why we stopped Impossible Films in the first place.
All right, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so that's that. How's lockdown treating you?
I don't know about you, but it sucks, man. I've been stuck at home and couldn't come out. My parents are pretty strict about that. Like, okay, so basically, so let me explain the situation. So basically, I was eating dinner, and then basically I was, like I said, eating dinner, and then I started choking on my food, and I started coughing, and my parents freaked out and basically sent me to my room for a good, like a 2-week of isolation.
Wait, did you not tell them it was just you choking on your food?
No, I did, but like they didn't believe me, and my dad was so concerned.
I don't know why I find this so funny, but that's like very unlucky. So you good now, right? Like you're not like trapped in your room anymore?
Yeah, I was like finally able to release from my room, but like I haven't been doing much since.
Right.
Like, I just hope like this thing is over so I can, I guess, live a normal life. And like, I mean, parks are slowly reopening, and now my parents aren't that strict, but I don't know, it just kind of sucks. Like, right. So yeah, so what about you?
Honestly, this isolation like started off pretty good. Like I don't know if you saw it, but I made this video for my school called this little documentary of kind of just talking about like my situation, how I handle like documentaries and things like that, like the video kind of just talks about like how I started off pretty good, but because I get to chill at home without really having an excuse to kind of go outside and do things. But I guess it kind of like really started to take a toll on me when it kind of screwed up my vacation plan for the summer.
Right. Remember you telling me you were supposed to go to Japan and Taiwan, right?
Yeah. So I was supposed to. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, like you said, I was kind of supposed to head to Japan and Taiwan this summer for almost 3 months basically. So basically for almost the entire summer. So, but like that entire trip is basically canceled, or I guess, like postponed. So now I'm kind of just chilling at home which sounds nice. But like eventually, even playing games and just staying at home gets kind of boring, and like there's not much you can do. Like you can only
I know, I
get
get you. It's weird because you don't really notice until you're like kind of forced to like pause and you start realizing.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, like this entire pandemic thing never like really hit me, or like I never took it seriously until like my plans got canceled, and like before, when I thought I could just play games all day, it didn't really work out as I thought. And then like instead of going outside for a walk or whatever, and like now you can't even, or like when you're in isolation, like you're kind of not really able to do anything. Like sure, there's like some park that's like slowly being opened, but like and like we're given like the specific set of rules that we kind of have to follow, but even then it's like we can't do much. And like, to be honest, like I kind of miss going outside, or like I kind of miss going for a walk or something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy, like the world just paused for a second.
It's actually funny that you bring that up, because my mom and I actually had a conversation the other day, and she said something about the line of how like it's like God is kind of making the world in like this pause situation with this isolation period. Like we're kind of like kind of like what people call like the pause challenge. I guess we're kind of in this pause where we kind of just don't really know what we have to do, and we kind of just have to like halt for a bit and kind of reflect. And then like granted, I know that he has a plan, and I don't know why there's this virus and it's killing people, but like the pause, I guess, really got me thinking about a lot of things. And even though it's frustrating right now, I think it was something I really needed before I guess the world starts, I guess, moving again, if that makes any sense.
No, I got you. No, yeah, no, I get you. Like I'm not a Christian, but I can see what you're telling me, and now that you mentioned, I guess I kind of agree with what you have to say.
Yeah. So with that being said, like I guess the question is like should we pause and kind of take a break nowadays? Like I think like that's something that people don't realize, is that we often forget to take a break, and we kind of just like live in this world that's like constantly moving. So I guess it's best to kind of take a pause and kind of like, I guess, take some time to kind of reflect on your life, because so that's why I think like this pause was kind of, at least for me, it was kind of necessary for me, because I was able to kind of sit down and kind of just chill and kind of just relax and not really think much about it. Yeah. So so do you think we should take a short break before we begin again?
Sure.
All right, we'll be right back. This podcast is sponsored by nothing, because I am not that popular, and why should I get a sponsor? And we're back.
I had a heart-to-heart talk with you yesterday.
Yeah, we did, and in private. And I guess now you kind of want to tell the world or the podcast, or like, I don't know. I don't know why you brought. I was like, I don't know why you brought that up. Like, are you planning on telling the world, or?
I mean, I guess I've been just kind of going through some rough time, and on the surface, I may look like I'm okay, but being able to talk to you about, like something personal that's happening in my life, like, yeah, it was good to kind of like air it out, and you gave me some really like helpful information and direction and just advice that I feel like I kind of needed to to hear, and I'm grateful that I was able to share it with you.
Yeah, man, of course. I mean, that's good. Like, I also, I mean, like, okay, I also don't want to like pry, like if it's too private, or like I guess. Viewers or listeners that maybe could be going through something similar to you, maybe you can give them like some general advice, or kind of what you're going through, or maybe share how my advice kind of, I don't know, helped you. And I don't know, I don't know if you don't feel comfortable, or maybe just maybe bring up the points where you kind of are, or like where you kind of want to be able to talk about.
I mean, I guess to kind of sum it up, I'm basically going through a breakup, and it's real tough, like coming out from a long relationship, and I just I kind of just feel lost, and I felt, I guess, confused, like I feel inadequate, and like this guy over here just like you kind of just instilled some good words back into me, and I think if anyone's like having like similar like having similar trouble, or something that's like, or like you're in the same situation that I'm at, I always think that it's probably best to turn to your friends and talk to each other, rather than just holding it in, because those thoughts can go deeper and deeper and deeper, and that stuff can kind of
manifest into, I guess, something real negative. Well, I think the reason why I even said anything is because I could, if there was like something bothering you, like I could see like when that there was clearly something bothering you and like I'm like you, where like I kind of like to hold in my own feelings. Like I'm not gonna like I feel like I'm not gonna really bother someone else. Like why bother someone else, or you know you know what I mean? Yeah, right. Like I'm not gonna bother someone else, and it's not like it's gonna like really help me when I bring up my problems to someone else. Like that's how I felt.
Yeah.
Right, and even though for real it truly does. Like it does not. It does help even if you're like me or Jerry, like where you don't like to talk about your feelings. And I don't know if that's like an upbringing thing or just kind of like a personality things, but it's literally the opposite of someone who are really open to, you know, like sharing things. Yeah, like I have a friend, and when they have issues, they literally go like, oh, "Hey, can we talk?" Like, yeah, like that's something that like I was struggling to say, like, or like something like you would never say, you know? Like unless I go to you or someone, or like, you know, or vice versa, like unless like someone, that person goes up to me and go like, hey, can we talk?
Yeah, I have a friend like that,
like something I find that like a struggle to kind of do, because I don't never really know like how to really approach someone without like sounding like clinging, or without really sounding like I need their help. Like I don't know, like it's not something that I feel like just saying like, hey, can we talk, or hey, I need help, just kind of feels hard for me sometimes. Yeah, and I think nowadays we're like I guess I'm kind of more comfortable with sharing now. I think because I know like other people have different perspective, and that, you know, they have views that, you know, maybe could show me or us, or like, you know, like they're like different like I guess like different thoughts. And then when they tell us, it's like, oh yeah, I didn't really consider this at this time, or things like that. And yeah, I definitely feel that as well. Like I feel like of course, like I'm going through some stuff, and like in my head I feel like, what's the point in calling someone else? Like everyone has their own problem, and you know, like why would I want to bring my problem onto someone else, or you know, like bring that, like I'm pretty sure they're going through their own stress, and I don't want to bring that up to them too. But I guess it's like, it was actually really helpful to just kind of like talk it through with you, and we're able to communicate. You know, you know, maybe and sometimes we get, I feel like sometimes we get too caught up in our own thoughts, and we kind of overthink the situation, and we start going down a tangent that's not even logical or possible, but it's because we're already so consumed in this, or this and that, or like having someone else from an outside view speak into our life, especially someone who cares about us and will be real with us, and not like really sugarcoat it. I guess like that's to me like always been super helpful, and that's why I kind of appreciate when you listen to me and help me during those tough times, and anyone else who, you know, kind of helped me and supported me during those tough times as well. Right. So I guess now we can just kind of do a quick shout out. And so we got Ryan, we got Brian, we got Bro, and things like that. I think the number one thing I learned though is like that one of my accountability brothers said to me, was like, I feel like it's okay to feel crappy, like, or like you should feel crappy, because, you know, we were, I mean, we were like talking over, like, yeah, exactly, we were talking over like a couple of drinks, and, you know, like I was just worried, like I've seen people when they go through that kind of stuff, you know, they you know, whether they smoke or they drink or do whatever they can, kind of, right, like they do whatever they can to kind of escape it, but it's not like, you're not really, I feel like you're not really escaping,
to cope with
it, you know,
it.
Like you're just putting it off, and eventually you're just gonna keep letting it build.
Yeah, kind of like when you brought up like about temporary happiness.
Yeah, like it's just gonna like kind of get worse and worse and worse. It just gets like the more you drink, I feel like, or like the more you smoke to kind of cover up, it kind of just keeps building, and like it's not really gonna go anywhere. Like you might feel fine because you're high or you're drunk. I don't know why I keep using these example, but like if it's the way, it's in a way the truth, and it's just kind of, you know, building. So at some point you gotta face it and accept it, because if you let it build more, it's just gonna, I guess, be worse, and kind of be, it's gonna it's gonna be worse like later down the road. I mean, yeah, that's kind of the way. That's kind of the way of how I see it, and I think it's just okay to just like you should be you should be feeling like crap during tough time. Like don't try and like avoid it, because you gotta face, like eventually you're gonna have to face it anyways. Yeah, I agree. Like one thing that I learned about when I went to this leadership conference is in Toronto, like something that I or like the whole Toronto leadership conference thing, it just felt like an entire like blessing and fate to me.
and like I actually had the opportunity to have a conversation with one of the leaders, and the thing that I kind of learned in one, or like one of the things I kind of learned over there was like there's this rule called a 10, like something called a 10 rule, 10 rule a week kind of thing, which is like if you like if you have like a lot of stress or anxiety, or like you're dealing with like depression in your life, or like issues, or you're going through like I don't know, something personal, like like they kind of said it that to try and maximize it to 10, and what do you think is really worth that effort to stress over? So like if it's like anything that's like small, so for example, if you like stress about money, you stress about like how your situation or like your living situation, that's already like that's already like two things on your list. So like like money, and then now your living conditions is another one, so that's already like two things, and now you only have like 8 left, and then if you give that a week, you could pile on a lot of things in a list of 10. So like what really deserve your time, or really deserve like your energy to feel negative about something? So you're saying like the only like so you're saying that like how should I phrase it? Like that you only have the capacity to kind of care about 10 things. Is that what you're saying? Like, sorry, I just want to clarify, so I'm not really saying. Yeah. So like that's what I'm saying. Like, so I feel like those 10 things should be valuable. So like you don't want to go over those 10 things. So like you should have like a specific amount of lists, like the 10 lists where like if you go over that, then you should try and take that out. And I think it's like a good way to kind of cope with like stress and kind of deal with depression or any anxiety that comes in with it. No, that's smart. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, like, where did you learn this stuff, or like who told you about this? Like this is really helpful. Yeah, that's some deep stuff. Yeah, I actually learned it from. It was actually from one of the leader who was from the conference, and like we got the chance to kind of like sit down and talk about things, and he kind of just told me ways or techniques to what he does to cope with stuff, and he also told me like like he had this 5-year rule or something like that, where if something's not gonna affect you in 5 years, then you shouldn't like put too much effort into it. And I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty interesting. I guess that is pretty interesting. Like, right. And I guess since we're kind of on the same page, and kind of for the sake of it, like like just I guess like just because you're kind of going through a breakup and everything doesn't mean you have any ill will towards so and so or this person, right? Yeah, I just thought it was I just thought it was something we should bring up, because I don't think is kind of right. Oh no, yeah. Like me, like, yeah, no, I would like never, like, no, like I'm sure you agree with this theory too, but like, right, yeah, no, I understand. Would never like wish anything bad upon her, and we had like we had a good relationship, and though it's over now, and there's no reason for anyone to blame her or hurt her or harm her or whatever. And then like breakups in general are never great. So, but like we had a clean breakup, and it's just like obviously going after a breakup is obviously tough, so it's hard to handle. Yeah, I think I think you can still be friends with your ex if you're both kind of mature about it, and not really get the emotion in your way, like not really have that emotion be a hindrance or a bother to you guys when that happens. Yeah, sure. Like we're definitely friends. I mean, we still talk from time to time, but like sometimes we have lunch, but it's just like we're on a different page, which is okay. Yeah, no, it's definitely always gonna be weird and awkward at the beginning. Like I said, you're kind of both in a different page now, and you're kind of both like in different life and different part of life. But I think it's definitely okay to still be friends if things do end up that way, right? Like if things go up that way, and then like for example it's like a clean breakup where you kind of went through like it's clean, and like nothing really has happened, it's or like a mutual breakup essentially, like I think it's okay to still be friends. Yeah, we went into some deep therapy. We did. I mean, it wasn't for you constantly supporting me. Nah, stop. We talked about Alan this hates already. It when it starts getting mushy and cheesy. I mean, it just feels weird. Like of course we're bros, like I'm always willing to support you and help you, just like how you and any of my other friends supported me and helped me. It's kind of how it made me who I am today. So I just feel like I want to do the same, to kind of give back to whoever helped me. So whenever someone does thank me, like I just feel like they don't really need to, or like they don't, because again, it's okay. Again, like I feel like it's okay to feel crappy, and then like we ain't psychic, or like they aren't psychic either. So like I'm always grateful when someone's able to, I guess, trust me, and though I might not always have the answer to kind of help someone, I'm happy that I'm there for them to listen to them, like because we, like as we both said, we both kind of learn, and we're still kind of learning, and that it's just that just talking it out really helps sometimes. Thanks, man.
Yeah, of course. Well, I guess moving on to or like a less serious topic and something, since you're here and it's something you're really into. But Haikyuu season 4 part 2 is coming out soon, right? And you've been real hype about that. So, like one of those people. You're legit like one of those people who watches on Crunchyroll an hour after it gets released in Japan, and will like text a group chat to see to see if we all seen it.
Well, it's good that you brought it up, because like due to COVID, it actually got pushed back. So like the fans, or like at least like me, I'm not really sure when it's gonna be released.
Dang, really? That's unfortunate. Oh. Or like why don't you tell like the listener like why it's such a good anime then?
I think Haikyuu is popular and good because first off, it's based on the popular manga in Japan, and about like this volleyball team, and it's probably one of the most popular sports in anime right now. Like it not only just get your heart racing when you're watching like the matches because of the high intensity and all the music that goes along with it, but like I also enjoy it because it tells us like this compelling storyline of each character.
Right. You're actually the reason why I got back to the anime. You know that, right?
Wait, for real? Wait, really?
Yeah, but for real though, you're literally that person. Like whenever a new episode comes out, that's when you start texting the chat the most.
Well, okay, chill. I don't text them.
Yeah, you would go like, hey, yo, guys, have you seen the latest episode yet? Or have you seen the latest trailer for this next episode yet?
Okay, hold up. That is not true.
Bro, the last time you came over to film with Nathaniel and I, the episode would be like, I don't know, like released like an hour or something ago, and then you would like somehow already finish it when I don't even know how you do it. Like we were filming and then be like, hey, yo, guys, good episode, right? And then me and Nathaniel were just like, what the heck is this guy talking about?
Yo, okay, chill. All right, okay, fine. Maybe I'm that fan that's I'm that fan that already watched it, and then I'm looking at like fan theories at this point.
Yeah, I mean I can't really think of much else to say, so I guess we can kind of wrap it up for this week. Well, and yeah, so I guess so we'll kind of just wrap it up. Again, this is kind of just like a little trial run. I don't really know how long I normally want a podcast to be, but yeah, but thank you, Jared, for being
man, of
here
course
today.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
If you're ever free and feel like talking, you can always just message me, and I'm always free, and yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in to our very first trial run of the TheAllenChienPodcast, and don't forget you can follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify at TheAllenChienPodcast. And do you have anything you want to plug before we end?
I do actually. You can actually follow me on the Real Allen Chen on Instagram, because we're basically the same person.
Wait, what?